This topic is regarding the software re-engineering. Now, as this name suggests, re-engineering, that means we are engineering the product, that is the software, again. So re is what? Engineering again. Now, let's see actually what is the concept of re-engineering and why it is done. Right. So let's start with this software engineering. Software re-engineering is what? It is organizing or modifying existing software system to make more maintainable. So this is just a main objective, main concept behind the software re-engineering. That means when we engineer a software, that means we are developing a new software system, right? When we are engineering a software, we are developing a new software from scratch, right? But when we see that we are re-engineering, that means what we are doing, we are modifying the existing system. We are modifying the existing software system. Why we are modifying? That has many reasons. One of the main reason is to make more maintainable, right? And we are going to see what are other reasons also for software re-engineering. Now, talking about the software engineering, it is what? It is the examination of a subject system. What is the subject system? Subject system is the software that needs to be re-engineered, right? So the examination of the subject system to reconstitute it in a new form and the subsequent implementation of the new form, right? So we want existing system to be examined, to be analyzed, to be reorganized, to be modified and reconstitute into a new form and implement it and make a better system, right? This is what we are going to do. Now, in software re-engineering, further concept says when we need to update the software to keep it to the current market without impacting its functionalities. This is called software re-engineering. That means if a software is existing and we want to update it so that it can survive in the current market, it does not get obsolete, and we want to update it without impacting its functionalities, right? So that is what is called as software re-engineering. It is a thorough process where the design of software is changed and programs are rewritten. So what we can do is we can analyze it, the designs can be changed and the programs are rewritten, right? Now moving further, what we have is we have system re-engineering or software re-engineering. What all tasks we are doing? We are restructuring, we are rewriting. It can be we are rewriting or restructuring or just a part of the software, or it can be that the complete software is being rewritten, right? So it can be only the part of it is being re-engineered or the complete software is being re-engineered, or all of a legacy system without changing its functionalities. Now here we are using a particular term that is called as legacy. I want to explain this particular term. What is legacy software or what is legacy system? The softwares or the systems which are very old systems and they are still working with its functionalities. They are still accomplishing its objectives, but it is getting obsolete due to the technology changed, right? So those particular systems are called as legacy systems. And when we are going to rewrite these particular legacy systems or restructuring these particular legacy systems without changing its functionalities, because all the functionalities are working properly, we only need to rewrite the maybe the technological part has to be changed. We need to convert it or transform it into some other language maybe, or certain compatibility issues are there, so we have to figure out those particular issues and maintain it accordingly. Applicable where some but not all subsystems of a larger system require frequent maintenance. So that is what we are saying. We are not talking about changing the complete system, the large system, but changing the subsystems. Re-engineering involves adding effort to make them easier to maintain. We can also change, we can also update the software just to make it more maintainable, as we have seen in the earlier slide. The system may be restructured or re-documented. It can be done either of the way. Now, when to re-engineer? The question arises when we are going to re-engineer a software. Legacy software that we have already talked about. What is a legacy software? You should be well aware of this. Legacy software cannot keep tuning with the latest technology available in the market as the hardware becomes obsolete. Updating of software becomes headache. Even if software grows old with time, its functionality does not. This is what I have told you about the legacy software, that there can be a possibility that this is an old system, old software, which has proper working of its functionality, which are fulfilling the objective, but it is getting obsolete due to not possible in the latest technology, due to the compatibility issues with the hardware or anything of like that. So we need to re-engineer these legacy software so that they can survive in the current market. Other than this, sometimes programmers notice that few parts of the software need more maintenance than others. Then also we need re-engineering, right? Now, talking about more terms, when system changes are mostly confined to part of the system, then re-engineer the part. That means we are talking only about confinement of the software of a specific part only. When hardware or software support becomes obsolete, so due to the technological compatibility issues, what we are going to do, we are going to redesign and restructure it. When new ways of accessing are needed, but its functionality remains same. So you can see we are not changing the functionalities of the system. We are only changing the technology on which it is performing, right? The hardware, the software with which it is compatible. So we are working on those. So we are also going to use the support tools. Now we have taken an example of a system which has been re-engineered. So there are lot of softwares which has been re-engineered, but a very basic one which has been re-engineered, that is called as, and you all are aware of, the operating system that is called as Unix, right? It was earlier developed in assembly language, right? When language C came into existence, Unix was re-engineered in C because working in assembly language was difficult. So just to survive, its functionalities were working properly, but just to survive the technological changes, it was rewritten in the C language. And still there are so many projects, such as the projects which are written in Java, they are being re-engineered with JS, Angular, and many more, right? So there are many, lot of softwares which are being re-engineered. So this is just an example to give a clear picture to you. Now, what are the advantages of re-engineering? The main advantages is we are reducing the risk and we are reducing the cost, because we all know that developing a new software involves high risk. So we are not developing a new system. What we are doing, we are re-engineering it, right? So it will involve less of the risk. It will reduce the risk. Next one, reduce cost. Again, we all know that developing a new software includes a lot of cost. But here, re-engineering will involve less of the cost as compared to the developing of new system or software. Now, what are the steps needed for re-engineering process? This is the scenario. What we have an existing software. We are going to do reverse engineering. This reverse engineering, I'll explain you in further slides. Then we are restructuring it, redocumenting it, redesigning it, and then we are doing forward engineering, and then we get the re-engineered software. See, forward engineer, right now I'm just giving you a concept of it. Forward engineering is whatever we were doing in proper engineering, that is the requirement analysis, the design, then the implementation of coding, and then the deployment. But reverse engineering is just the opposite way, right? We are doing the reverse as the name suggests. So this is what we are doing in re-engineering of software. It includes re-engineering plus forward engineering. So first of all, we need to decide what to re-engineer. That means we are only going to work either with the part of the software or with the whole software. Then we are going to perform the reverse engineering in order to obtain specifications of the existing software. Then we are going to restructure the program if at all it is required. Whatever is required, we are going to restructure. Maybe only redocumentation is needed, maybe restructuring is needed, maybe redesigning is also needed. So accordingly we are going to work. Restructure of data is required, and then we are going to apply the forward engineering concepts in order to get the re-engineered software, right? So this is the complete process of re-engineering. So this is the one we can see in another diagram. What we are doing, we are working with the inventory analysis, we are going to document restructuring, we are going to reverse engineering, code restructuring, data restructuring, forward engineering, and this is the cycle which works, and then we get the re-engineered software, right? So this is what we have about the re-engineering process. Next thing is, in this we have business process reengineering. What is business process reengineering? We are talking here about the business process that is being re-engineered, not the software in the technological term. It refers to an attempt to improvise the operation of the business on a broad scale. The primary aim of BPR is to cut down process redundancies and enterprise costs. So this is not involving the technological details, but it is going to do what? It is going to define its objectives and framework. It is going to identify the customer needs, that the re-engineered software is going to meet all the customer requirements, going to study the existing process, formulate the redesigned business plan, and implement the redesign. These are the tools, automated tools we are going to use for this: customer process focus, visualization for end process and benchmarking, change management, business process mapping, etc. So we are not involving it into much detail, because this is not the actual work we are going to do in software re-engineering in the syllabus. So we are not focusing it into detail. Okay, now here is the complete re-engineering process what we are using. We are going to see, let's say this is the original program, we are going to translate the code. Let's say as Unix was written in assembly language earlier, and then it was rewritten in C language. So this is what source code translation was done. Source code translation was done. We had two steps. One is reverse engineering and the other one is program structural improvement. In reverse engineering, we were studying or analyzing the existing product, and in this we were restructuring the program in better form. So this parallel things are going to be done, that is program documentation was studied and program modularization was done. This was parallel with structured program, and again modularized program and original data was seen, and data was re-engineered, and the re-engineered data was prepared. So this is all with the re-engineering process, right?